Welcome to the second part of the treasure hunt project. Till now, we have completed the sprite setup and program for player movement. Next, we are going to make a program for the dragon hunter to chase the player. The idea is to increase or decrease the dragon's position to get closer to the player's coordinate. If the dragon's x-coordinate is less than that of the player, then increase the x-coordinate of the dragon by 1 so that it can get closer to the player. Similarly, if the dragon's x-coordinate is more than that of the player's, decrease the x-coordinate of the dragon. Apply the same logic to the y-coordinate and write the code for it. Run and test the program. Notice the dragon is now following the player. Let's do a minor refactoring in our code. Make two variables called speed1 and speed2 and assign them values 30 and 1 respectively. Replace the number 30 in the player's movement program with the speed1 variable and replace the number 1 in the dragon's movement with the speed2 variable. Now let's program counting time limit backwards. To measure the time, we need the time library. Go ahead and import it. To record when the program started, we need to measure the start time of the program. We will do that by calling the time function present inside the time library and saving it in a variable. The time function returns the current time. Now let's define a function that will constantly calculate and update the time left. Make the left time variable and speed variables global. Make a variable called endTime and call the time function from the time library. This variable will denote the time at the moment of calculating. Now calculate how long the program has been running. After this, subtract runtime from the 60 to get the time left. Now check if the left time has become less than or equal to 0. If it has set the left time variable to 0 along with all the speed variables. Also, call the function called displayEnd, which we will make now. This function will show the game over text at the end. Now, after writing both these functions, call the countTime function inside the displayTime function. Run the program. The time left is now showing on the screen, but it shows lots of digits after the decimal point. To fix this, let's import the math library. Use the function called ceil from the math library. This function rounds a number up to the nearest integer and returns the result. Run the program. The remaining time is showing as integer values now. Alright, now let's make the program to define the behavior of the gold star when touched by the player. Import random library. Inside the display, score function check if the player has collided with the gold star. If it has, select the x and y coordinate for the gold sprite randomly. We have used the random function from the random library. It returns a random number between 0 and 1. Multiply it by another number to get a random number from 0 to that number. Draw the gold sprite again. Increase the player's score by 10. Run the program to test it. The gold star is going to random locations and the player score is also increasing. Great! Now let's define what happens when the player touches the dragon. Make a variable called running and set it to true. Set speed1, speed2, running, and left time variables as global in the draw function. In the draw function, check if the dragon collides with the player. If it collides, then set the left time and speed variables to 0. Also, set the running variable to false to denote that the program is now not running. Call the displayEnd function to show the game over text. The clock has to stop as well. Head to the displayTime function and check if the running variable is true. If it is, only then call the countTime function. Run the program. Everything seems to be working. We have completed the project. As a practice, try adding another treasure sprite with a different score value. This will add a little more complexity and excitement to the gameplay. Good luck!